G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Metal video. So in this video we're going to take a look at the 10 turn challenge for the Super Dragon Ball Heroes stage against Cumber. So basically with the Super Dragon Ball Heroes, or sorry, the Super Dragon, Super Heroes Dragon Ball, or Super Dragon Ball Heroes, Super Dragon Ball Heroes, basically this red zone came out. It's a little bit easier than other red zones, so I think, for players who are nervous to try red zones, SDBH is probably actually the best entry point into red zone. I think it's a nice event that kind of bridges the gap a little bit between where units are sitting and where they stand. As you can see there, my physical cooler took 300,000 damage on a super, but that's not that much. That's with type advantage. That means Cumber is only hitting around 400k or so in this first stage, so really nothing too crazy. Overall, I think Cumber is a pretty nice fight. Obviously, the big thing here is completing it in 10 turns. So what I've done is I've built my team around that. Essentially, the premise of my team is units that crit against Saiyans, or units that just generally do high damage. The final phase is against a physical unit, so having the double strength Terrifying Conqueror's Cooler is a pretty good place to start, because having double strength Terrifying Conqueror's Cooler means that we have quite a high damage cap, especially against physical units. Cooler does do a decent chunk of damage as well if he gets crits off. So, and because you can build him full crit, generally speaking he does tend to do good damage. To accompany him I also have the Transforming Cooler. He's going to be paired up in the second rotation. He's going to be good because he's going to not only raise his defense, which is very helpful, but he's also going to be able to do quite good guaranteed damage against the final phase of Cumber. Now, as you can see, this first phase didn't really get off to the best start. Not in a bad way, so to say. It was generally speaking quite good, actually. A couple bad supers, but it wasn't a huge problem. The one good thing about the Cooler team is with physical Metal Cooler, the AGL Metal Cooler, and with the just Cooler link sets, I tend to heal quite a bit each turn. We also have this giant form, which is great because it was free damage just to finish off the strength phase. So yeah, overall this was a pretty good start, I would say. Don't worry too much about giant forms. If they do trigger, they do pause the timer count, so you shouldn't have any major issues there. Now, as you can see, in this phase, obviously things are a little bit different. A big thing here that's going to determine how this specific team build goes is whether we crit or not. Critting is going to be quite a large concern for us as we go through this AGL phase. If the strength LR coolers crit, then we're going to get through the stage in 2 turns. If they don't crit, it could take 4 turns. So the AGL phase is a pretty big determinant of how well you do in this event, how close those 10 turns are going to be. We get pretty lucky and we get some pretty good crits, so our run was never really in any doubt. Like I said, crits realistically are where, as you can see here, we get a vast majority of the damage done. So it's a pretty big deal to get crits. They are not only great for nullifying type disadvantage, but they also do a great job of nullifying the big levels of damage reduction that bosses have. So in this case, very good damage. We managed to get a really good crit with Strength Cooler, get a couple crits off his normals. We get a crit here with AGL Cooler, who by the way has a 20% crit chance, I believe, against Pure Saiyans, which is obviously super duper helpful. And then we have obviously this rotation, which I think overall is a pretty decent one. This one I only have a 55% strength cooler, so you do You do want to obviously be a little bit careful there. You'll see that I did pop a Whis at a certain point here. Full disclaimer as well, my team is all link level 10. So even my 55% LR cooler that I have, my 55% strength cooler, all link level 10. It helps a lot. This team has a very good link set for link leveling with Metamorphosis, Terrifying Conquerors, Thirst for Conquest, with big bad bosses. There's a lot of great links that provide a lot of defense. So the reason my team is doing well, damage wise and defense wise, is because of that link leveling. It does help them, especially with starter turn defense, when you want to keep your health high. So overall, yes, that is a significant factor, and I would say you should be aware of that. So if you're going to run a team even like mine with 55% LR or a 55% strength cooler, just be aware that link leveling does assist quite a bit. I am also using the support memory for 10% increased Wicked Bloodline units, so that does help as well. And you can see, once you get to the physical phase, you just basically go full damage mode, you use your active skills. But cooler is huge. Like, cooler's damage, especially against the physical unit, is borderline insane. Cooler does an exorbitant amount of damage, so he's just going to absolutely shred through Cumber. Like, he's going to decimate him. The physical one does also some decent damage, nothing too crazy, pretty nice singular attack stats. But this cooler goes pretty hard in the paint. I think overall he hits really hard. As you can see, he's just auto deleting the physical phase between his active skill and his obviously raw potential abilities. So very good stuff. Overall, I think pretty clean, pretty decent run. Plenty of time to spare, so that should be able to help a lot of people. I do think you do kind of want to go for a team where you can at least incorporate the strength LR cooler as a friend. You don't necessarily need your own. I don't think you need even half of this team. The strength LR cooler carried pretty hard. So even if you make like a movie bosses team with Turles or something, as long as you can bring a friend LR cooler that's 100% or so, or at least has high levels of crit, you'll be fine. That's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye.